خاتم النبيين سيد المرسلين أشرف الأنبياء وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فقال الله عز وجل في القرآن المجيد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون صدق الله المولان العظيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My apologies for running late. Since I have not reached the level of ihsan that we should be, I can't be in two places at one time. There was a meeting that I had to attend to, and then there was my son that I had promised to pick up for Jummah, and therefore running late, and please accept my apologies on that behalf. I wanted to speak about, in this short time that we have, on the ayah that I just recited to you in the Holy Quran. And as you know, as mankind, whether we acknowledge it or not, whether we are conscious of it or not, we're looking and we're seeking and trying to discover a level of peace and tranquility and sincerity in our lives, in our hearts, in our souls. And many of us may not be aware, but when you go out every morning, whether you go to school to get an education, that it in turn will result in a good career or a good job, or whether you go to your current jobs to provide for your family and to bring some sort of comfort, to have a home, to have food on the table, to have some clothing for yourself, for your children, to take your kids out somewhere. This gives mankind a level of happiness, to be around their kids. Look, mashallah, how many children are here and how many parents are embracing their child. That's a level of happiness that Allah gives to a person. And we seek sometimes whether it's halal or haram. Now, when you look at some of these rich millionaires, and we're seeing this every day. Every day they've gotten everything they wanted on a materialistic level, on a worldly level. They have mansions that are worth millions of dollars. $2 million, $3 million, $20 million homes, $40 million homes, jets, airplanes, Bentleys, Rolls Royces, some of the best vehicles that you've ever seen. Yet, you still find them that they're not happy, that there is something missing in their heart. Look at the people that you grew up, half of the people, I even heard his music in the camps in Peshawar, so everybody is familiar with him. Michael Jackson. The camps in Peshawar where Afghan refugees were and stuff, they would listen to his music, so we're acquainted. But look at the level of this man. He was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But this person, because he was missing something in his soul and something in his heart, he had to go towards some sort of medications and drugs to give some satisfaction in his heart, to give something that the wonderland he had built around him did not give to him. All the fame, when he would go on stages, people would faint. People would faint just to touch Michael Jackson. But that wasn't enough. Fame wasn't enough for him. The lifestyle that he had wasn't enough for him. The money he had wasn't enough. He was missing something, and that's why, whether it was from illegal or prescription or whatever have you, and may Allah not count it as ghaiba against Michael Jackson, but a misal is something that we as human beings, it's our nature to reflect on. When we hear the stories of Fremont, when we hear the stories of Lut, when we hear the stories in the Quran, these are for us to reflect on. And it's not ghaiba of those people. It's a reflection for us. He was missing something. Every single one of these actors and actresses that you're looking at, millions of dollars that we are striving for every day, they're missing something at home. In front of the TV, they look like they have everything. But when they're inside their home, there's something missing. That thing that by nature we are all aspiring towards. We're all looking for. And what is that? It's peace in our hearts. It's tranquility in our hearts. It's sakina in our hearts. And whether we look towards money, it's not haram to go and work. It's halal. It's actually ibadah. But to know that that's just up to a point, it gives you some comfort. To drive a nice car is not haram. Alhamdulillah. Go for it. but it gives you a comfort up to a level. To be around your family, that's actually an ibadah. To play with your children, to take them out. But that gives you a comfort to a certain level. And what does the Quran say? What does the Quran say? What does Allah say that where the ultimate comfort lies? In this world. In this dunya that we have. The ultimate, Allah bizikrullahi tatma'in al-qulub. That by the remembrance of Allah, by the zikr of Allah, tatma'in al-qulub, that Allah gives you a level of sincerity and comfort and peace in your heart that no money, no wealth, no fame, no amount of people that are around you can give you that amount of comfort. Nothing except for Allah's remembrance and Allah's blessings and Allah's sincerity that Allah has given us in our hearts. And this is a prescription that in our tradition, we do not need to go to yoga. Right now, I know I have several friends who are doctors and cardiologists and stuff like that. They have the most least amount of medicine they take themselves. I know a doctor that barely takes medicine, but he prescribes. That's his job. He has to. Because we come for illnesses and stuff like that. But he says, you know what, Mr. Mojadidi? You know what I do not leave is my yoga. This guy is a practicing doctor for 30, 40 years. But he has to focus on his spirit as well. And we don't have to go in different traditions. We have that in our own tradition. Islam is giving you a gift. When we say deen kamil, when we say that this is a deen that has everything in it, that means that it doesn't stop here. That just Jummah, Salah, fasting, Zakat, Hajj, that's not just Islam. If you think Islam stops here, you need to re-look in this faith and re-look in this tradition. This tradition goes beyond that. This faith goes beyond that. When Sayyidina Isa said, and this is in the scriptures, that the helper will come to you and he will give you something that I haven't given. What is that? That's the Quran. That's the Sharia. That's the kamil of our faith. That in this faith, there is society, politics, military, love, compassion, honor, and also working on your souls, working on your nafs, working on your heart. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Shams, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears on the nafs. وَالنَّفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْحَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. What is Allah saying here? He swears by the nafs. He swears by the nafs in the gift that I've given to the nafs, in the proportions that I've given to the nafs. Nafs amara, nafs lawama, nafs al-mutma'inna, and the other kayfiyah that's within the nafs that Allah has given us. And He says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَاهَا. Those who have purified it have succeeded. Those who purify their nafs, who cleanse their nafs, who bring clarity to their nafs, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَاهَا. That means you have succeeded. Succeeded in what? Succeeded in the essence of our humanity. Succeeded in the nature of why we're here today. Why Allah brought us to this world. Succeeding in that. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. And those who corrupt it, those who ruin their nafs, fail. This is a prescription that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives in the Quran after and after that. What? Purifying your hearts. One of the things to purify your hearts with is the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And having continuous remembrance beyond salah, beyond zakah, beyond Ramadan, beyond the other ibadahs, having your heart focused in conscience with God. There's a saying in the Naqshbandi tariqah that it says, this bakar dil bayar. There is a volume of books that could be written on that one saying of Shah Naqshband. This bakar dil bayar. Have your hand at work. Go to school. Work hard. As long as you know what your priority is. This bakar, do what you have to do. Dil bayar. Keep your heart with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep your heart, your soul with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is something that you have to work on. Just like when you go to the gym, when you work out, the first 3 days you're in pain. You're in pain. You're hurting. You're sore. Your muscles are sore. Your body is sore. You're like, okay, is this helping me? This is putting me in pain. That's a good pain. That's a pain that your body is doing something. That's a pain that your body is progressing. The pain that is making you stronger, giving you more stamina. That's the pain. But you have to keep working at it. You can't just go and work out on Friday and the rest of the week and say, Alhamdulillah, I'm in good shape. No. There's a continuous workout. There's a continuous, and then your nutrition follows along with it too. You can't just go work out and have qabli palau every night, have chicken tikka masala every night, and later on you do an angiogram and the arteries are clogged. What happened? I've been exercising. Well, no, it goes together. It goes together. You can't take one prescription and leave another one of it out. The prescriptions of the purification of the heart, one of the main elements outside of being courageous, being brave, being good, being pious, helping one another out, standing for justice. When you see something wrong, acting upon it. These are all things that purifies the heart, and the one that is the most essential is the askar of Allah. It may be difficult in the beginning. It may be hard in the beginning, but if you continue it, your heart will not leave it. Your heart will always be on that. Your heart will always continue that. And I will, inshallah, if Allah permits, and we have another day in time, we will continue this. But this is something that actually one khutbah, 2 khutbahs can't do it. This is something that you have to bring about in your life, bring about in your soul, to help purify the kayfiyah that you have, your heart, your nafs, to elevate you in humanity and to elevate you in the community and make us back to that great nation and ummah that we were in the beginning. Because Prophet ﷺ said, this is a jihad. We are focused on other jihads now, which is also essential. Jihad is essential. That's, Allah knows best. But then, Allah, when they came back from the jihad, Prophet ﷺ says that you are leaving the smaller jihad for the greater jihad. After all the battle, Sahaba said, everybody's got killed and maimed, and what could be bigger than this? He said that the jihad of the nafs. That means focusing on the nafs, focusing on the ego and the soul, and suppressing that. May Allah give us all tawfiq, and may Allah help us in the path of purification of our hearts, to know the real essence of our deen, to know the real essence of our tradition, and may the love of Allah, the compassion of Allah, the mercy and the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enter our hearts, enter our souls. Wa akhirina dawana, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Jazakallahu khair.